Yes, it was potentially the most cracked marathon we've ever seen in history. Marathons are some of the most emotional and entertaining races to watch ever, because you see elite athletes, but you also see so many people that you know, your friends, family, people that you follow online running the distance, 42k and 26 miles. And yesterday's London Marathon might have been the craziest race we've seen today. Hi, I'm Shantae. I'm an athlete. I love loads of different sports, and today we're going to talk about what happened in the London Marathon yesterday. I had 3 men run under the previous world record in one race, and 2 men officially went sub 2 for the first time in history. Do you know how crazy that is? Kenyan Sebastian Salwe, who was also the 2025 London Marathon winner, defended his title, and he crossed the finish line in 1 hour, 59 minutes and 30 seconds. That is a pace of 2 minutes, 50 seconds per kilometer for 42 kilometers. Can you actually know how crazy that is? Like, and afterwards, do you know what he said fueled him for the race?
2 slices of bread with honey and tea.
This is a Kenyan man if ever I've seen one. That Yomif Kajelcha came in 2nd place with his marathon debut, and he also clocked under 2 hours, 1 hour, 59 minutes and 40 seconds. So you're telling me that you're the 2nd man ever officially run sub 2 and you don't get the world record and you don't get gold medal? That is crazy. Jacob Kiplimo clocks 2 minutes and 8 seconds, coming in 3rd, which is just cracked to see 3 men under the previous world record. I do genuinely believe this is the craziest marathon that we've had to date. I think that we've officially entered a new era of marathon running altogether. We're even seeing like non-elite athletes running these crazy times. Like, it's normal to go sub 3. We finally pushed into an entirely new era of marathon training, and I'm so excited to see what the next couple of years hold. A similar thing will happen with the case of Roger Bannister when he finally ran the 3-minute mile, and then after he broke that threshold, it just became essentially normal. Like, now a 3-minute mile is something that people do with ease, but it just has to be proven that a human can actually break that limit, and we saw an influx of people go after there. So some of you guys might know Eliud Kipchoge. He's a Kenyan runner. He went sub 2 in 2019 when he ran 1 hour, 59 and 40 seconds. But it was an event that was specifically held for him to break that sub 2 barrier, but because it wasn't an official race and they didn't have like the open race rules, it didn't count towards an official world record. So the sub 2 barrier was technically broken like 6 years ago, but it was never officially recorded, and since then no one has been able to break that sub 2 officially. So it is a massive deal for this to actually be happening now. I also think it's very interesting when Eliud Kipchoge, I love him. He deserves all the praise in the world because he is still, regardless, like he was a previously a world record marathon holder, and he is an incredible athlete. But even when he had this race that was sponsored in Vienna, he had like 50 paces, he had the specific like shoes, like this whole entire race was catered for him to try and break sub 2, and he did it. But the fact that we've seen it on an official race course and in home territory as well, in London for us Brits, that's crazy. Do you think something that is on a lot of people's minds is the fact that Eliud Kipchoge and a lot of the Kenyan runners are notoriously sponsored by Nike? Nike have always kind of held this place in long distance and marathon running to be the it girls. Like, for such a long time, Nike have been the brand that have been pushing these elite runners, make these crazy records. But Sebastian Salwe is an Adidas athlete, and he has a photo post-race holding up his Adidas shoe with a world record titled on there. I know this conversation has been bouncing around a little bit now that it might be the end of Nike's glory days, but the fact that it was an Adidas athlete, male and females, first to cross the line, it's saying something. It is sick. So this could be the official end of Nike's run of glory days, and it could be Adidas fully stepping into the front, but we'll see. We have the World Cup coming up this year, so it will be interesting to see which brand the winning team is wearing. Maybe that can settle the debate. We'll see. On a note of branding, the 3rd place Brit, Jebra Selassie, is sponsored by Joma, and he was wearing an Asics top, Asics shoes, Adidas shorts, and Nike socks, and it just made me laugh so much because, you know what? Yeah, maybe you don't want to wear your brand sponsor, maybe you do just want to wear whatever feels comfortable. And I do think it's obviously really interesting how much of a foothold branding has in terms of any sports, but especially in terms of athletics, when athletes are so underpaid, and branding sponsorships a lot of the time are the only way that athletes are allowed to go pro or are able to go pro, because the money just isn't in the sport. So seeing him just mix and match whatever he was wanting to wear, hilarious. Okay, in terms of the Brits, Mohammed, who's actually a Southampton local and used to train on this track. He placed 10th overall and was the first Brit to cross the track with 2 hours, 6 minutes and 14 seconds. His last PB was in 2024 in the London Marathon again. It was 2 hours, 7 minutes and 45 seconds, I think. This time pushes him to be the second fastest Brit ever. And what I also thought was really cool, his little brother Zach paced the London Marathon for 30k at a pace of 3 minutes, which is insane. Zach and Mo are some of the craziest runners you'll ever see. I love seeing siblings in athletics or siblings in sports because I think it's so interesting. How are your genes so good that you are both Olympic level athletes and you're both representing Great Britain? We all know the East Africans dominate marathon sports. Big 3 world marathons so far this year: Tokyo, Boston and London. 4 Kenyans have won and 2 Ethiopians have won. It's split across male and female. So and I'm sure it's going to continue for the rest of the year because East Africans, this is in their blood. They are the best marathon runners in history. I just wanted to pay tribute to Kelvin Kiptum, who unfortunately lost his life in 2024. He was the previous marathon world record holder. So it's really nice to see another Kenyan continue the legacy. Over in the women's marathon, we're still seeing crazy numbers. Tiggs Esefa, who was the 2025 women's marathon winner again for London, defended her title and re-broke her women's only world record. She did it in 2 hours, 15 minutes and 41 seconds, which was lowered by 9 seconds last year. A women's only marathon is essentially where you only have women pacers taking you the whole way. So this is crazy that we're seeing world records happen again and again. Staying on the East African theme, Kenyans Helen Abiri and Jocelyn Jep Kosgei take 2nd and 3rd in the women's marathon. And this is the first time ever that 3 women have went sub 2 hours, 16 minutes. We are seeing crazy numbers consistently in the marathon. For the Brits, Eilish McColgan was the first Brit to cross the line for the women's and she came 7th overall, which is crazy, in 2 hours, 24 minutes and 51 seconds. This is like 26 seconds off of her overall PB. On top of that, we saw hundreds of thousands of pounds raised for charity. We saw world records broken and we saw people achieve their dreams. And as always, it was a beautiful marathon to watch. Now, we've still got 3 of the major world marathons to go throughout the rest of the year. So yeah, thanks for watching. See y'all later.